this book changed my life, right? So when I first started this self-improvement journey, this was my first ever book I purchased, Atomic Habits. So basically, it's Atomic Habits, and I'll just read the front. An easy and proven way to build good habits and break bad ones. So this basically dives in to the science behind building habits. So it helped me a lot just to basically understand habits and how long it takes, because in the beginning you might have bad habits, but then you implement a good habit and attach it to a bad habit, and then the good habit overtakes, and then over time, after doing a habit, it then becomes part of your day-to-day, part of your lifestyle. Let me give you an example. A month ago, I set myself a 90-day abs challenge. So I'm currently on a cut, getting super lean, and then I'm transitioning into a lean bulk. But this is a habit. So I started a challenge 1 month ago today, 90-day abs challenge. And in the beginning, it started off as a habit, but I put on my Instagram story today that I set myself the challenge, and it was a habit that I implemented every single day. And after 30 days, it is now a lifestyle. So it's part of my day-to-day routine. It's part of my lifestyle. I don't need to force myself to do it. After my gym session, I'm like, right, okay, it's time to do the abs. So within 30 days, I've managed to start off with a habit that's now part of my day-to-day routine. So I'm going to look into here, read a couple things and talk about it. So you've got a chart here, right? You've got a chart. And that basically says 1% better every day. So a lot of people have goals that they want to achieve, but they try go from not having any day-to-day routine, not having a plan, not basically doing nothing, and then they just basically start everything that they want to do straight away and go from 0 to 100 without just being 1% better every single day. So it's basically saying, 1% better every day. And it basically says the effects of small habits compound over time. For example, if you can get just 1% better each day, you'll end up with results that are nearly 37 times better after 1 year. So it's all about being consistent. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. So you need to set yourself some habits that align with your purpose and just focus on improving by 1% better each and every day. So, and even like this, we make a few changes, but the results never seem to come quickly. So we slide back into previous routines. So I'll talk about that. So we basically decided that we want to do something and we start doing it. But then because the results don't come quickly, you start slipping back into your old routines because you're not seeing results straight away. But if you focus on becoming 1% better every day and you stay consistent and you stay disciplined and you have patience, eventually, if you're always working on that every single day, it's only going to be a matter of time before you start seeing results. But a lot of people start something and they quit because they're not seeing results straight away. When in reality, you could be consistent and disciplined with something and keep going, and then you quit, but not knowing that the results are literally just around the corner. And then even this, a slight change. So when I read a book, I like to highlight key parts, so then I can go back and look at the key parts that are important in the book. So a slight change in your daily habits can guide your life to a very different destination. So you got to think to yourself, if you want to achieve something, then let's just say you want to lose weight. If you set yourself a gym schedule, Monday to Friday, working out 3 to 4 days, you did a bit of weight training, but you did Stairmaster for 10 minutes every single day, right? And you're tracking your calories that you're eating and you're tracking your weight. Because you are making a slight change to your day-to-day routine because you know you want to lose weight, over the course of 3 to 6 months, you will see results because you have made that slight change in your day-to-day routine and habit that is getting you closer to that goal. So it's really interesting, to be honest. So if you haven't already, make sure you purchase this book. Like I say, this was the first ever book I ever purchased when I started self-improvement. And then it even says here, change can take years before it all happens at once. So you could be you could change your whole personality. You could change you, like the daily habits that you do. You could go from having whole old habits to new habits, but you could be doing it for 2, 3, 4 years. You could be changing. And then all of a sudden, them 3 to 4 years of hard work and change, whatever it is you're working towards, it could just all happen at once because you've been consistent and disciplined with something for a long period of time and you've had the patience to see it through. So if you are currently working towards something, no matter if it's health, fitness, business, and you're not seeing results, stick at it because it can take years and then it can all come in abundance from the hard work. And it's like this, basically saying that habits need to last long in order to break through. So basically, you need to stick with the good habits to break the old habits. So let's say, for example, in the morning, let's say before work, you have a cup of coffee, but instead you scroll on social media, something like that, okay? So what you could do is, that's a bad habit, so you need to implement a good habit. So let's say with your morning cup of coffee, you can say, right, with my morning cup of coffee, I'm going to implement a good habit, reading. I'm going to read 5 pages for 10 minutes in the morning instead of picking up my phone and going onto the phone straight away, because obviously we all know that's not good for us. But picking up this is easier than picking up this. But this will be more beneficial to you because you're not picking up your phone straight away in the morning. So you have to implement a good habit to replace the bad habit. So let's see what else there is. All big things come from small beginnings. So if you're working towards a big goal, right, you have to implement small, simple steps to work on every day, every week, every month, and even years to get you to that bigger goal. So it all starts with small, simple steps is always the key to success and achieving anything meaningful in life. So this book made me realize basically the science behind habits and what you have to do. So, and it says here, once your habits are established, I've just spoke about this, but once your habits are established, they seem to stick around forever. So it starts off as a habit. You need to make sure that you're doing it every single day, ticking it off a checklist, which is a habit. But then after so long of being consistent with it, it then turns into part of your day-to-day routine, part of your lifestyle. So you just got, I'm not going to read too much of this book just in case you want to purchase it, because it is a very good book. So this book, like I say, I purchased at the beginning of my journey and it's changed a lot for me. So it's called Atomic Habits by James Clear. Even like this, I've just spoke about this as well, like the morning cup of coffee. And it basically says here, your morning routine habit stack. So basically, number 1, after I pour my morning cup of coffee, I will meditate for 60 seconds. And then 2, so basically having a morning stack. So habit 1, habit 2, habit 3, habit 4. So basically it's saying, after I pour my morning cup of coffee, I will meditate for 60 seconds. 2, after I meditate for 60 seconds, I will write down my to-do list for the day, right? And it says 3, after I write my to-do list for the day, I will immediately begin my first task, or consider this habit stack in the evening, or consider this other one. 1, after I finish eating dinner, I will put my plate directly into the dishwasher. After I put my dishes away, I will immediately wipe down the counter. After I wipe down the counter, I will set out my coffee mug for tomorrow morning. So it's implementing habits to even if it's just a case of you want to be more organized with your day, like that is basically because you could eat dinner, you could not put your plate directly into the dishwasher, and then you could not wipe down, and basically everything's a mess and you end up falling asleep on the sofa. So if you just implement small habits, so like you eat your dinner, you put it into the sink, and then you wipe up and you clean up, and then you get your morning cup of coffee out ready for the next day, so then you can now go do whatever you want to do. And then when you wake up in the morning, it's fresh, it's clean, the morning cup of coffee is there, even put your book next to it, so when you come down in the morning and you make your cup of coffee, the book is next to the coffee, which is water, that's water, and it's already there. So then after a while of doing it, it'll just become autopilot. So in the beginning, it might seem like a chore, a task, but after a while of doing it, it just becomes a lifestyle. So yeah, so this book seriously changed the game for me. One of the first books I ever picked up and read. So if you're interested in that, pick it up, and I'll leave the video at that. So if you are wanting to improve your life and you are wanting to implement good habits into your life, but then at the same time you want to start reading, then I'd get this book so you can learn more into the science behind how habits are built, and all of that good stuff. So if you like this video, I'd appreciate it if you could like, comment and subscribe. Stay locked in, you got this, let's get it. I'll see you in the next one.